Cold dread files, real cases, one camera, one face the world never got to see. The camera saw the person who parked Jennifer Kesse's car. That is the part that still feels impossible. It saw them get out. It saw them walk away. It captured frame after frame, but every time their face should have appeared clearly, a fence post blocked it. Not once, not just in one unlucky still, again and again. A person of interest walking through the frame, visible enough to haunt the case, hidden enough to remain unknown. The camera gave investigators a person, but not a name. Before the footage, before the fence, before the car was found, there was a 24-year-old woman in Orlando, Florida, who did not show up for work. Jennifer Kesse had a job, a condo, a boyfriend, family who heard from her constantly, and a routine people could recognize. That matters, because when someone like that goes silent, it does not feel ordinary to the people who know them. According to public reporting, Jennifer spoke with loved ones the night before she disappeared. The next morning, the usual signs of life did not happen. She did not go to work. Calls started going to voicemail. The people around her understood very quickly that something was wrong. That is how this case becomes a timeline. First, no normal message, then no arrival at work, then no answer. Then the realization that silence is becoming evidence. When Jennifer's family and investigators reached her condo, reporting described small, ordinary details that felt out of place only because she was gone. A damp towel, clothes, hair tools. The kind of signs that suggest a person had been home and may have been getting ready for a normal workday. Her phone was gone. Her purse was gone. Her keys were gone. Her car was gone. Jennifer was gone. Then, on January 26, 2006, her black 2004 Chevy Malibu was found at another apartment complex about a mile from her condo. That changed the case. Because a missing car can become a witness. A car can tell investigators where it was left. It can tell them when it was last seen. It can tell them who may have handled it. And in this case, the complex where the car was found had surveillance coverage. The footage showed a person parking Jennifer's Malibu, getting out and walking away. At first, that sounds like exactly what investigators needed. A person, a camera, a specific moment, a direction of travel. But then you look at the frames more closely. The person is there. The fence is there too. Vertical posts pass across the image at exactly the wrong moments. Where a face should become clear, the fence interrupts it. According to CBS reporting, the surveillance system captured an image roughly every 3 seconds, and each time, the person's face was blocked by a fence post. That detail is why the footage feels almost unreal. It is not absent. It is not missing. It is not blurry in a way that tells you nothing. It is close to useful. And that may be the most frustrating kind of evidence there is. Enough to prove someone was there, not enough to prove who. The FBI later described the footage as showing a person of interest walking away from Jennifer's 2004 Chevy Malibu after parking it at an apartment complex 1 mile from her condo. That wording matters. The footage did not magically become an answer. It became the central question. Who was that person? Were they directly involved in what happened to Jennifer? Were they moving the vehicle for someone else? Did they know her? Why did they leave the car there? Why did they walk away so calmly? And why did the camera capture them clearly enough to matter, yet fail to show the one thing everyone needed most? A face. This is what makes the case so unsettling. There are disappearances where no camera exists, no witness, no image, no last trace shaped like a person. Jennifer Kesse's case has something different. It has a body moving through the frame. It has clothing. It has gait. It has timing. It has almost a face, almost an identification, almost enough. And that almost has lasted for years. The Kesse family has kept searching, pushing, and reviewing. Public reporting says they later gained access to more than 16,000 pages of case materials and 67 hours of video and audio after legal action against Orlando police. That changes the scale of the story. For Jennifer's family, it also changes the weight of the search. It means not waiting for one magic clue, but returning to the same evidence again and again, hoping one small detail may finally move the case. Because it tells you how much information can exist in a case and still leave the central question unanswered. Not a handful of clues, not one file folder, thousands of pages, dozens of hours, years of review, and still the person on camera remains unidentified in public. More recent reporting has described renewed hope tied to technology. Sky News reported that Jennifer's parents hoped AI enhancement might help reveal more from the side of the person's head or ear. Local Florida reporting has also described renewed DNA review and continued analysis. That does not mean the case is solved. It does not mean technology has already named the person in the footage. It means the search has not stopped. That distinction matters, because cases like this invite people to rush ahead of the evidence, to freeze a frame, guess an identity, and mistake online confidence for proof. That is not responsible. Jennifer Kesse was a real person. Her family is real. The uncertainty is real. And a person of interest is not the same thing as a proven suspect. So the responsible question is not, who do we want this to be? The responsible question is, what do we actually know? We know Jennifer Kesse disappeared in Orlando in January 2006. We know she did not show up for work. We know her condo suggested an ordinary morning interrupted. We know her black Chevy Malibu was found about a mile away. We know surveillance footage captured an unidentified person parking that car and walking away. We know the fence kept the face from being clearly seen. We know the case remains unresolved. That is why the footage is still so difficult to watch. Not because it shows violence, it does not. Not because it explains everything, it does not. It is disturbing because it sits between evidence and silence. A person is there. An identity is not. The camera recorded the moment. The fence protected the face. And Jennifer Kesse's case remains trapped in that space. A car found, a person seen, a face hidden, an answer still missing. The camera did its job. The fence did too.